Hello everyone, welcome to the Complete Sports Updates, this show where the latest and trending stories in the world of sports are brought to you. My name is Abib Kuranga. Joining me on today's episode is the indefatigable, the amazing, wonderful, evergreen, ever dynamic, ever conscious Adeboye Amosu. Together we shall be taking you through the rounds as far as sports stories in today's episode is concerned. Welcome to the show, boy. How are you
Thank
doing
you.
today?
It's good to be back on the show once again.
Absolutely. So there's nothing from you regarding the eulogies and everything.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's always a good and amazing feeling to be back on the Complete Sports Update. The Super Eagles of Nigeria's head coach Eric Chelle has released the 55-man provisional squad list for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. And right here on Complete Sports Update, we shall assess, evaluate, highlight, outline, just bring me one English word, to add to this vocabulary, just to look into the squad ahead of the tournament, which is going to be hosted in Morocco, with 28 players to be drawn out of the 55 right there, with 27, returning to their respective clubs. So, boy, well, the list has actually been released by the Nigerian national team head coach. So, what say you about that? Any thoughts as regards to that? Do you see any surprises as regards to the list released on Tuesday?
Well, I think for Coach Eric Chelle, the list really shows that he's abreast with his job and he has been keeping tabs with Nigerian footballers abroad. Actually, I was surprised with some of the, before we started the show, I spoke about a certain Usman Mohammed.
Yeah.
Usman was somebody I knew from the Shan, that is the African Nation Championship, a tournament meant for home-based players. He was part of the team, part of the squad that represented Nigeria, the 2016 tournament in Rwanda. He's actually a defensive midfielder, and he was also part of the team to the Rio Olympics under coach Samson Siasia. So the only drawback for me, it has to do with the fact that if you look at the list, you see a lot of promising and talented guys on the list, which is an indication that, I think I listened to an interview where Eric Chelle said that he has a long list of Nigerian players that he normally monitor every weekend. So this is the list is a reflection of that.
Yeah.
The only pity is the Nations Cup is like a few weeks from now. Yeah. So there is no chance for the coach to really bring in some new guys into the team because if you look at the list, there are a lot of talented and upcoming promising players in the list. But I just pray that the Super Eagles will have a good outing in Morocco and Eric Chelle will have a course to continue on the job, and that will give him an opportunity to at least bring in some of these guys after the tournament. Because if you look at the team, you have some guys who probably after this upcoming AFCON won't be part of the team again. Yeah. You talk about Trustekong, who is probably this will be his last tournament. We look at Semi Ajayi, who is around 31. A lot of guys in the team. So indeed he is close to 32. So I think it's a good one from Eric Chelle, but we all hope that he can be able to come out with a solid 28-man list before the deadline, which is December 11th.
Absolutely. So you made mention of new players into the team. 5 MPFA players were actually invited, with Ebenezer Akko, the goalkeeper, 16-year-old, actually, spearheading that angle. So, during your analysis, you actually made mention that established players, players that have actually, been called up before will most likely, still be, part of the 28 players. So, for you, you don't really see new players, getting into that 28-man list?
Well, I think it's a good one that CAF has given the chance to participating countries to include 28 players in their final list. So that will be an opportunity for someone. There is a guy who plays for Blackburn Rovers. That's Ryan Alebiosu, who has been handed his maiden invitation to the Super Eagles. I think the coach took the decision due to Benjamin Frederick's injury and the fact that Ola, is a bit still the dicey whether he will make the list because of his injury problem. He has been out since September, but he's back in training and he can't really play for Nottingham Forest till the end of the year because he was removed from their Premier League list because of his injury. So we don't know if Ola will be able to make it to the tournament and if he will be at least fit enough to start at the start of the tournament, even though if he's included in the list. So Alebi Osho for me should be part of the 28-man list. There's another guy in midfield, that's Ebenezer Akinsamero, a former Remo Stars guy who is on loan from Inter Milan to Pisa in Serie A. He has really made a big impact at his club this season. So he himself should be part of the team for me. So probably there will be 2-3 new guys. You know, it's difficult for coaches to bring in new guys. International football is difficult. Guys come in 2-3 days before each game, and for a tournament like this, you have less than 2 weeks to prepare. So it's going to be difficult. But I see 2-3 guys at least making it to the tournament.
Absolutely, it's going to be difficult to introduce new players into the setup because, of course, the tournament is actually, right here, and looking at the existing players with the way and manner they actually play the World Cup qualifiers and all of that, you definitely want to, want new players, but still the days are not long, to try as much as possible to experiment and all of that. So I can really, really understand your angle as regards to that. So now let's take a look at the opponents of the Super Eagles in their Group C, consisting of Tunisia, Tanzania, as well as Uganda. With Tunisia, surprisingly actually finishing second in the AFCON qualifiers, behind Comoros, with the others, the Gambia as well as Madagascar in the group, and Tanzania also runners up in their group, as well as Uganda. So let's hear your thoughts about these opposition as regards to them facing the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the group stage.
Well, I wouldn't want to say it's an easy group for the Super Eagles, but because if you look at some other groups where you have Ivory Coast, Cameroon, and the rest, for the Super Eagles, the most important thing is for them not to underrate any team in this group. We all know Tanzania are not one of the superpowers in African football. That will be their first opponent on the 23rd of December. The key thing is and when you go to a tournament like this, especially the Nations Cup, there are some surprises along the way. So the key thing is you just have to take each game like a final. That's the way me I see it, because on a day when you decide to just underrate your opponent, you might be in for a surprise. And there's a fact that the Tanzanians will believe that they are not under pressure. So let's just go and do our job on the pitch. So it's important for them to. I think the biggest opposition in that group is Tunisia, who have won the AFCON title once in the past. That's the opponent the Super Eagles will be facing after the game against Tanzania. So I believe the Super Eagles and Tunisia should be able to make it out of that group. Don't forget the Cranes of Uganda too. They made a big impact during the World Cup qualifiers, and they are being managed by an experienced Belgian. That's talking about Paul Put. So they will want to at least make impact in the group too. But so the Super Eagles, with the Super Eagles coming from the disappointment of their failure to qualify for the 2026 World Cup, I believe the players will do a good job in the group. I'm tipping Nigeria and Tunisia to qualify from the group.
Absolutely, we do hope that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will do extremely well in their group right there, consisting of Tunisia, Tanzania, as well as Uganda. So thank you very much, Aboye, for the wonderful and insightful analysis as always on Complete Sports Updates. Viewers, this is where we're wrapping things up as far as proceedings in today's episode is concerned. Do well to like, share, subscribe, comment as far as this episode is concerned. Do take care of yourselves and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.